Hi, this is Jim, and I'm the New Hampshire rock guy, and we're out on another one of my mining adventures. Wow, look at this spar here. It's just falling out of the mine walls, and there's so much more to see. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Feel all 6 sides of the tourmaline crystal. What would be west into the Connecticut River Valley and the mountains of Vermont. World-class beryl crystals, both aquamarine and golden.
If you look hard enough, you'll find something it's facing.
Yeah. Get ready for a fantastic journey of this incredible mine. Hello and welcome to another edition of Pecora's Mica Mine Schoolhouse. I'm Jim Pecora, the director of the Mica Mine Schoolhouse Museum of Mines and Mining. And I'm here today outside the Gilson Historical Society in Gilson, New Hampshire, which is just one town north of Keene. And this is kind of the heart and soul of the Keene, New Hampshire pegmatite district that went all the way up north through Alsted and Ackworth. But we're going to take a look at Bunk Moloney's mineral collection. Bunk was instrumental and probably Mr. Mineral. And I'm here today with Ralph Jernberg and Dale Johnson, both members of the Historical Society. Let's take a look inside. Greetings, it's Jim Pecora, and here's another episode of Pecora's Mica Mine Schoolhouse. I'm here today with Dale Johnson and Ralph Jernberg, two residents of Gilson, New Hampshire, and we're here at the Gilson Historical Society, a wonderful place to come and visit. Just look for when it's open and do stop in. They have incredible displays throughout the building, but we're focused here today on the minerals of Bunk Moloney. And Bunk was, he was the postmaster, right?
For years, yes.
For years. And obviously a mineral enthusiast, and probably if there was anybody to be called Mr. Mineral in the area, going back a few decades, it would be Bunk. He got into the mining because of his wife's, he married into a family that owned mines, is that right?
No, his mother's family owned the Pomeroy mine.
Oh, it was his mother. Sorry, I had that wrong. I thought that was his wife. Okay.
He actually did some mining there himself, the Pomeroy mine.
And that's right here in Gilson?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have this incredible collection preserved from Bunk Moloney's years of collecting. And there's wonderful examples. It's mostly all New Hampshire minerals. And as part of the Mica Mine Schoolhouse's mission, you know, is to let folks at home like yourselves know about these collections and know that you can come see them in the general area of Alsted and just northwest of Keene, New Hampshire, or north of Keene, New Hampshire. So it does look like these are all local minerals. So we'll have some up-close shots to share with you a little bit about what we're talking about. And I do see there's a predominance of beryl, again, because there was so much beryl here in the area. He's got some wonderful, wonderful examples as we look around throughout here. What else can you tell us about Bunk? I heard he had other jobs too, that he worked as a machinist or...
Yeah, he actually worked for an electrical motor repair company, Fred Fire in Keene, and he rewound
Motors?
electric motors.
Yeah.
And he did that after he left there, actually in the post office part-time when he was postmaster. And Bunk got his name Bunk from his father. His father was also known as Bunk.
I didn't know that, yeah.
Yeah. And he married a local girl, Barbara Plimpton. Marshall Plimpton was a miner and a truck driver, all Hamsphire for many years. And really got interested in minerals. He took a trip out to Minnesota where some of his mother's family was, and while he was there he visited a rock swap, and that's where he got the idea to have a rock swap here.
You ever hear that story?
Yes.
Yeah, all right, I didn't know that part of it. And the rock swap's in its 52nd year now?
52nd year.
Yeah. You've got the shirt on there, Ralph, yeah. I love this year's shirt.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Yeah. So he then came back and started the rock swap here, and it's been quite the enduring annual event, and I'm sure it taxes out a lot of local people because you've got a lot of setup and
there's a lot of work to do, not
Yeah.
just setting up and tearing down.
But a wonderful event, always typically around the end of June. So if you don't know about the Gilson Rock Swap, you can look for it on Facebook, or I think if you Google Gilson, New Hampshire, GILSUM. That's
And
an
it is
interesting-
always the last weekend in June.
last weekend in June. And it's a wonderful setup, outdoors, so rain or shine, it's there. And there's loads of mineral dealers, and you can buy rocks from all over the world. It's amazing what people come in with, and you can buy local rock. Some of the mining has kind of ceased now that Tufco stopped 2 years ago, but they were mining gemstones, aquamarine, which is the sea foam green color of beryl, which is the predominant color that we're seeing here. It also comes in golden, so we see that too. But this is beautifully labeled, and I understand that another gentleman that's very instrumental in New Hampshire minerals, Tom Mortimer, helped to do the labeling here of this collection. So very educational. This is a wonderful display. So we'll show you a little bit more of what we got going on at the Mica Mine Schoolhouse, and eventually it'd be to have something as neat as this too.
Hope so.
Now, Ralph, you had an interesting story as a youth, having a vital but simple job. Is that correct? The bell ringing?
Yeah. Well, I used to hang around with my father a lot. I think he had to take me on all his escapades of what he did to get me out of the house. And my father and a few other gentlemen were in partnerships of getting mica out of my aunt's mine. It was the Hastings mine off of White Brook Road. And when I used to go along, it was quite a shaft that they would go down in, and they had a compressor up on top, and that would pump the water out because it flooded very quick down there. And one of my job was to make sure if that compressor conked out, they had a system rigged up that I would push this button and it would go off down there, and an alarm would go off to let them know that the compressor had stopped.
So it wasn't actual bells on an end of a rope.
No, I remember having to push a button, and I never went down the shaft, so I don't know what they heard down in there, if it was just a beeping or a light went off and on. But they didn't have much time because the water would come back in fast, and they needed to get out of there and get it going. So when I would go down, that was my job, sitting up there, and I couldn't wander around and do much because I had to be paying attention to that compressor going.
That's we don't really, none of us really know unless you worked in the mines just what it was like. But that's a good example of a vital job that wasn't down there.
I don't know who did it when I wasn't there. Probably nobody.
Well, they probably had some, but we went out there, and it is amazing how far deep they went, after these minerals sometimes, and that was just. Do you know how deep it actually?
I do not know how deep it was.
100 feet or possibly more?
Dale may know better than I.
I know. I was only up there once.
Yeah.
And
It went down quite a ways, and a lot of these shafts that we have, have to be careful because they are deep. Most of them are full of water, but they're very deep. You drop a rock in, and you'll see bubbles for, seconds going down through.
It'll be fun someday to maybe get some actual measurements. Although you do hear that when the mining operations ceased, a lot of times they might have thrown some extra stuff down in there. Where else did they put it? I think some of the quarries have been cleaned out. But that is an interesting point just for our viewers, that most of the mining here in southwestern New Hampshire did go subterranean, and elsewhere, up in Maine or in the White Mountains, the glaciers carved off enough of the top of the earth at that point in time to expose more of the minerals. Here in southwestern New Hampshire, the same thing happened, but not to the same extent. So these pegmatite veins, which is an igneous rock, are down in, and so the best minerals that they could mine. Mica being the oldest mine mineral. Here at the Historical Society, do you have many old mica products at all?
No, we don't.
Oh, all right. Well, then the Mica Mine Schoolhouse will hopefully fill that gap, and
Yeah.
you can send people up our way to see that. But here in southwestern New Hampshire, we had inordinately large mica. Mica throughout the world typically might be only 3 by 3 inch, or could be cut to a 3 by 3 inch square or less. And here we have mica that can be easily a foot or 2 feet around. So certainly an indispensable material. I want to call our attention to these two rocks, or just in this area. It says columbite tantalite on this front one, the back one, and another one over here that says probably New Hampshire. But this is a very interesting mineral. It's known throughout the world as black gold. It's worth just as much as gold, if not more. It's used in every high-tech device out there, the minerals that come from columbite tantalite. It's known as coltan. And if you'd like to see an incredible movie, short movie, very well done, Google Coltan, C-O-L-T-A-N, and it'll take you to a film that was done in the Congo of Africa, which is a huge deposits of coltan, and the struggles that take place, because all you need to mine this stuff is a shovel and a wheelbarrow. So you don't need any dynamite. They're digging it out of the ground, and if somebody finds a deposit of this, it's worth megabucks, and they may not stay alive to mine it. Somebody else may take it over. So a lot of that goes on. It's the dark side of minerals and mining. But again, one of the most sought after minerals in the world is columbite tantalite. We have it here in New Hampshire, just not enough to commercially mine.